up? What's up?
What's up,
podcast land? How y'all doing?
How y'all feeling today, man?
How are you doing, babe?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm blessed, man. Blessed by the best.
That's true. That's true. I think
I'm
we
alive. I mean, really, you really can't ask for no more than that. So
that's very true. Very true. Well, we welcome you.
How you feeling today?
Well, I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling wonderful and delightful.
You look fine.
That's what he says, y'all. But if y'all could only see what I have on. He's supposed to say that. But welcome to Life Out Loud with QuiQui Symone and friend.
You know what I'm saying? King Alico.
But
like she say, welcome to LOL with QuiQui Symone, where we deal with a lot of the topics that most people don't really want to address.
What do you call those?
Which we call
the pink elephant. Exactly.
It was just the elephant in the room, but she wanted the elephant to be pink.
Yes, because I'm a girl. That's why.
But pink stands out, you know what I'm saying, amongst a lot of colors, so I can see that. So we talking about the things that people really don't want to address or speak on, that kind of just, get
left to the wayside, right?
Right. But people think about these things 24/7, but nobody speaks on them.
True.
So, we here to do that. You know what I'm saying? We here to address those things in the room that everybody else would ignore and just breeze by. So, we bringing y'all with the pink elephant.
What's the pink elephant for today?
What is it for today?
It's called the pressures of expectations.
That sounds good.
That sounds real good. I bet y'all probably wondering what we talking about, right?
Pressure.
That's coming later.
Yeah.
That's coming later.
I bet they like, oh man, he don't sound like that from when he recorded. I don't. I'm chilling. I'm relaxed right now. I ain't trying to sing. It ain't no concert.
He is, but he's singing all the time, so I get to hear it all the time. But today, the pink elephant in the room, we're going to be talking about the pressures of expectation, and really probably not what you're thinking of, like just all of the pressures of life, but we're going to talk about one thing in particular, and we're going to be talking about abortion. And that is definitely a sensitive topic, especially amongst believers, non-believers, very controversial. Some people are just like, hey, I am pro abortion, and some are like, I'm pro-life, and it is what it is. Like, you choose your side of the fence of it. But today, our purpose is not to try to really get you to, how should I say it, to get you to pick a side or anything like that. What we're trying to do today is just really explain a perspective, not the perspective, but a perspective from having an abortion. So we're not justifying anything at all. So let's be clear about that. We are not justifying having abortion. So we're not condoning it at all. We are just giving a perspective as to how that has played a role in our life. And so that's the pink elephant for the week. What you think, babe?
Let's get it, man.
Ready to get into it?
Let's get into it, man. Let's talk about it.
Okay, so if any of you guys have listened to any of the other podcasts that we've recently put out, we've talked about, on the last episode, we talked about actually the root cause of things that happened to me as an adolescent, and, from porn to being molested to being raped, and just really getting, sex introduced to me not the way that God intended. And so the root cause of all of those sexual activities, I really do believe had they had some sort of part in playing as to the decisions that I made later on in life. And so my mind frame really was, I didn't value sex the way that I really needed it to, the way that I needed to. And there were expectations of QuiQui. Like, that's the part that we're really trying to drive today, is the expectations. When we talked about the title, the pressures of expectation, it's really the expectations of what actually happened to me because of this mask that I wore for so long from being an adolescent. So, babe, anything come to mind when you hear about abortion? What's like the first thing that comes to mind? What's the first word that comes to mind with you?
Oh man. Life, man.
Okay.
That's the
Okay.
first word that comes to my mind when I just think about it. When I just hit my mind with the word,
Mm-hmm.
with that word in particular, life. I just think about life.
That's what's up. Definitely. And that's what a lot of people probably think of too. Just in sharing a little bit of my story, I know we're going to get into some music a little bit later on, but just kind of giving you guys a little bit of a heads up as to the process of what happened to me, or the decisions, the choices that I made as an adult, in result of things that have happened to me. I'm not completely blaming it on there. I was an adult and I made decisions. But the first thing that happened is, I think I was like around 22, 3, something like that. And I got pregnant. And this was a huge shock to me. And I had a miscarriage, what people call a partial miscarriage. But when you first hear that you're pregnant, first thing you think of, well, some people are really happy and some people are not.
Right.
That's true. But I was one of those people. I was relieved that I actually had a miscarriage, because I was like, how is that going to impact my life? Like, I got too much stuff to do. So I was really glad that I had a miscarriage. It was a little painful. I didn't even realize I was having it, but I did have that miscarriage. And later on, years later, I had gone through life, in church, praising God, serving here, serving there, and sexually promiscuous, if you listen to the last episode, but sexually promiscuous. And I found out that I was pregnant, and I was when I tell y'all, like, I was so shocked.
How shocked?
How shocked was she? I was super shocked. I really didn't think that I could get pregnant, just because I had gone so many years without being pregnant.
Right. That be a lot of people's situation too. Mm-hmm. They just feel like, they be done did what all they did, and well, dang, I guess I can't get pregnant.
Right.
And then only when you go to thinking like that, it's like it's always that out
time.
Of nowhere.
Yeah, because this was definitely years later, and I was just like, yeah, I ain't getting pregnant. And so I found out that I was pregnant, and I was super shocked. I didn't know what to do. And then as soon as I found out that I was pregnant, I initially called the father and told him, hey, like, I'm pregnant, dude. Like, you can't deny it. Like, this is your baby. And he was like, oh, shh. No. He didn't know what to say. Well, he said some stuff, but he was just like, okay, let me think what we gonna do. So I knew that he really wanted to put it on me. Like, he wanted me to make the decision, but I knew that he didn't want a child.
Right.
I was just so in shock. I just didn't know what to say, what to do. I just was at a loss. And he was just like, do you want the baby? And I was like, no, because you ain't going to be around. I already know you ain't going to be around. So why keep a baby, and I'm going to have to raise a baby on my own. So that was first thing. So really, I was scared. And selfish. Scared and selfish. That's not a good combination. But he was just like, hey, let me just give you the money, and I can call some people and find out where you can go, and you can go have an abortion and call it a day. And so I'm thinking, dude finna give me the money. And he came and showed up with half. Like, wow. I'm just like, dude, I need more than half. He was like, you're going to have to figure out the rest on your own. And so I was able to find a way to get some money.
Well, it did take two to create the baby.
Yes, but like, I literally was like, you was going to pay for the whole thing. He had me thinking he was going to pay for the whole thing. I didn't know that I was going to have to come up with that other however much it was. But basically, he gave me the money or gave me half the money. I came with it. And the thing for me was I couldn't believe that I had gotten caught. That's like really what I was thinking. Like, oh crap.
When you say got caught, what you mean?
Like I got caught. Like I got caught slipping. Like literally I got caught. Like people are going to find out that I'm having sex.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So like, cause my life, my personal life always kept personal. Like I wouldn't really put myself out there like that. So that's really what I was thinking of. And so at this point, I'm literally like, okay, oh my gosh, I've gotten caught. And so what do? So I just hide it. And so I went and I had that abortion. And that was extremely, that was a painful experience. Like that was more of a painful experience than actually having miscarriage. It was not good at all. I didn't know what to expect. I literally thought I was dying. But something was dying, and that was a fetus. So yeah, that's what happened the first time that I had an abortion. It was dope. No, it wasn't.
I was about to say, what? It was dope.
I was just trying to see what you was going to say.
I was about to say, heck no.
No, it was not
Heck
dope.
to the
No,
no.
I'm not saying it like that, y'all. I don't take this lightly at all. This is actually, for me, this is the first time that I'm really, coming out to speak about it, because you never know what people are going to think. People might look at you differently and just be like, oh my gosh, not QuiQui. Yeah, QuiQui did it. And as you listen to the other episodes, if you have, you'll hear, of some of the other things that happen. And so
True.
That's the whole thing in regards to that. So, babe, let me ask you this. Like, in regards to you hearing, me saying, okay, I had an abortion the first time, like, let me ask you this. When you found out that I had an abortion, that first time, like, what were your thoughts of me as an individual at that time? Because you knew me to be a different person. You didn't know about that.
I mean, for me, of course it's gonna be different because you know how I am. Ain't too much that really shocked me when dealing with people. You know what I'm saying? I done been through so much in my life or whatever. Obviously a lot of the stuff that you haven't been through, and you haven't been through a lot of stuff that I've been through. But I didn't, like I say, I felt how I felt about it. You know what I'm saying?
And how was that? How did you feel?
I wasn't with it. You know what I'm saying? I've never been for abortion.
Mm-hmm. So when you found out that I did have one, did that change your view of me?
No, it definitely didn't change my view of you whatsoever. Because at this point I know your heart.
Okay.
I know the type of individual you are. I know your heart towards God, and you know what I'm saying? Even in that, we all make mistakes, you know what I'm saying? Your mistakes might not be mine might not be yours, but we both got our share of mistakes, you know what I'm saying? And we both got mistakes that we've yet to make.
True.
You know what I'm saying? True. That's life. That's how it goes. So if you tripping off of somebody for making a mistake or doing something that you haven't done, then at the end of the day you gotta check yourself. But
okay.
But it didn't at that moment it didn't make me feel no type of way.
Oh, well, that's cool to know. I think you made me feel like you didn't feel some type of way, like there was no judgment behind it. So definitely. I definitely, appreciate you and thank you for that. So everybody's not going to be like that in life.
But that's where the pressure come in at, you know what I'm saying? So, you're under pressure to worry about how people gonna feel. But with that being said, we finna get into our 2 songs, man. Pressure by myself, King Alico. And then we got Bring That Love Back by Tone. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He restores my soul. He leadeth me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thy are with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anoints my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. Lately it's really been a whole lot of pressure on me. Yeah, lot of pressure on me. Said it really get real when you trust in G.O.D. Look, I put my trust in G.O.D. Ain't no more smoking on the gas, no more blowing on the pressure. So I ain't under the influence when I say I'm under this pressure. Lord, I know that you got it, I want it. I just pray that your peace come upon me. I just pray you surround me with armies of heavenly angels, protect me from danger. You told me joy comes in the morning. I just need your patience while waiting on it, yeah. Before destruction there's warning, and you want me to stand firm on your word and don't fold under pressure.
Bring that love back, hey, bring that love back. Bring that love back, hey, bring that love back. Bring that love back, hey, bring that love back. Bring that love back, hey, bring that love back. Yeah, they need it, we need it, they need it. Yeah, they need it, we need it, they need it. Yeah, they need it, we need it, they need it. Yeah, bring that love back, hey, bring that love back. Yeah, bring that love back, okay. Yeah, bring that love back. God ain't no joke on my lokes, where you at? SB my city, my pass on my tats. Ain't nothing higher than God, that's a fact, okay. Look, Dino in my prayers. I know I ain't tripping, I smell dirty from my neighbors. Used to break it down by the pound, smoking major till I chose to put that blunt down to give it to my savior. What's up? Yeah. Broken homes with no father, bro. You chose the streets over blood, that's your daughter, bro. I keep my Bible on my dash, that's a lot of truth. So what's the point of having faith if you want lots of proof? I'm making honest money, flashing it would never happen. I know my problem, that's the reason I put faith in action. So we can save as many people for the king, taking refuge in the shadow of his wings. We gon' bring that love back, hey, bring that love back. Bring that love back, hey, bring that love back. Bring that love back, hey, bring that love back. Bring that love back, hey, bring that love back. Yeah, they need it, we need it, they need it. Yeah, they need it, we need it, they need it. Yeah, they need it, we need it, they need it. Yeah, bring that love back, hey, bring that love back. Bring that love back, okay, okay.
Hey, that's my jam right there.
I love
Shout
that
out
song.
to you. You put me on that. You know
That's
what I'm
Tone 418 out of Cali.
Okay, so I just said Tone, so it's Tone 418.
Yeah.
Tone 418, man. Y'all make sure y'all check him out. I guess 418, that's the area code probably.
I'm sure it is. I think it's like San Diego or something like that, or Southern Cal, something like that.
Okay. So yeah, man, there you got it. You know what I'm saying? Pressure by myself.
King Alico.
And then you got Tone 418 with Bring That Love Back, man.
That's that Cali feel.
Man.
I just love that feel. I love that song.
Facts.
So we're gonna get right back into what we were talking about right before the songs, and we're talking about abortions. We're talking about the pressures of expectation, and so we're gonna kind of go off script here. So we got some stuff. We got some stuff to share here. So, babe, before we went to the actual songs, you said that like you were completely against abortion, right?
Right.
But you still didn't think of me differently before when you found out that I had an abortion. And I believe you knew me at that time, but when you found out that I had an abortion, it didn't change your mind or your thoughts or whatever about me. So my thing is this here. So we gonna get a little bit more personal. You ready?
Let's do it, B.
Okay, so after I had that abortion, this was some time later, what ended up happening was you and I were indulging
right
in premarital sexual relations.
Right.
And so I mean, we're not condoning it. We're just saying, we just being real. We're just being honest.
Being real because somebody out there going through it and dealing with it. And you know what I'm saying? We just here to give y'all an example. And hopefully we can, help y'all in some type of way, point y'all in a better direction,
Yeah.
Maybe we could help y'all not to make some of the mistakes we made if possible.
Very true, very true. So with that stated, we had sex a while and we weren't pregnant for a while.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, bam.
She was pregnant.
I was pregnant again. Like, dang, what happened? Like he fertile.
Yeah, I can agree. I am a very fertile guy.
Yeah, he can make babies.
Yes.
So we had become pregnant, and I don't even know your first reaction. What was your response? I know mine, but what was your response?
Oh man, well, being in my position and everything, after going through everything I had just went through, and not really being in position or being, necessarily say on my feet financially or whatever. Man, my first thoughts, I can't even lie and say I don't even remember my first thoughts.
Okay.
Honestly, if I could just be honest,
I do remember us having a conversation, and
what did I say?
I remember us having a conversation the first time we thought we were pregnant and we weren't, and you was like, babe, what if we were pregnant? And all I could say is, I'm just glad we ain't. And then when it actually happened, it was like, dang, this is really happening. And you was just like, I don't want no abortion. Like, I don't believe in it. I mean, I remember you saying that the first time, and I just was tunnel vision.
Right.
Was like,
I remember that.
Yeah, I was tunnel vision. I was just like, I can't have a baby right now. Like, we're not married. And I think when it comes to that, there's a psyche, there's a mental thing that goes on with that, because actually, we're thinking about, okay, I can't have a child, but the sin itself was already done.
Right.
And I think we put more, or I'm going to say myself, I put more emphasis on the fact of
the baby,
having a baby
versus the damage already been
done. Right. And so I can't do that. Like, we're not married. What am I going to tell my dad? Oh my gosh. Like,
and the crazy thing also, like, my divorce wasn't finalized yet.
Right.
To add, the icing on the cake for the situation. So that was something that we was strongly considering, and how it would look on us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How it would affect us, how it would affect ministry. Would people still want to book me, bring me out? What she was doing with her best friend. With the purity thingamajig, and her dad being a pastor, how that's gonna affect him, my parents, and it was just so much, man. It was so much weighing in on the situation.
I mean, we was already living together, and we were already getting some of the pressures from different people, period.
Right.
At the fact that we were living together, and that's a whole different story for another day. But like, literally.
So that alone, the pressures that was coming from that alone, it was like, okay, if they find out this, like, they gonna stone us.
Right, exactly.
But me, like I said, in my mind frame, I'm just like, hey, it is what it is at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like I never was for it. You know what I'm saying? I never was for abortion anyway. So, but she was like, nah, and then I just ain't never want to be that person that pressure somebody into doing something that they don't want to do. I did that enough, coming up as a kid. But definitely as an adult, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to pressure people into doing stuff. For myself anyway, I can speak for myself. Like, you want it to be genuine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If somebody do something, you want it to be because they want to do it, you know? And so that was my mind frame.
Right.
So, at the end of the day, when you were saying, like, you ain't want to do it or whatever, I wasn't for it, and I was hoping that you didn't. But then on the flip side, you know, it was still that possibility. And I knew you was pretty much sold on it.
Yeah, I really was. I was straight tunnel vision. All I could think of is, what are people going to think? That was like really my whole thing. Like, what is everybody going to think about the fact that we're not married? He's going through the process of getting his divorce, and like, what are people really going to think? What is my dad going to think? What is my family or people who were close to me who didn't know, like, what are they going to think? And so I couldn't handle that. So I chose to say, you know what? I'm going to keep covering it up. And so I went ahead and I went on with the abortion, and Babe went with me, and he was very supportive and all that good stuff. And, you know, I did what I did, and it was a painful process. When he was there with me, I'm sure it was difficult from his perspective to see me go through
things, man, that you could watch happen, man.
Yeah.
One of the worst things. Like, and then you can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? But be there.
Right.
But, you know, you got to watch. It's like somebody, you know, torturing one of your family members, and they, you know, you got to sit there and watch it. They got guns to your head or something. And it just ain't no way around it. Like, you just gotta watch. Ain't nothing you can do. Like, that's pretty much what it felt like.
And I felt bad for you too, babe, because I'm just like, I knew that you were really trying to be there for me. And like you said, there was nothing you could do. And I just know that you didn't want that. Like, I was going through a process of something that you didn't want, something you didn't believe in. And you were, you know, you made it very clear that this is not what you said. Because there was something you had stated to me before, like when we were just friends, you were just like, I ain't never having an abortion. I ain't never giving up my child. And like, I don't care how hard it would be. Like, I want my child. And I always went back to that. And I thought about that time when we were in the car, and that's something that you said to me. And I just never forgot that. And so here I am overriding that and just saying, well, you know what? I want to keep this mask on. I just can't do it. We got too much stuff to do.
Right.
And then what happens? We don't lose it, but we abort that child. And then how much longer later was...
That was still in Jacksonville. We was here.
Yeah, right, I'm just saying.
So almost about 2 years.
No, I'm saying like how long, because that was the first abortion that
right,
we
that's
had.
what I'm saying. And the second one was here.
It was here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that tells you how much I remember about that part.
I remember you being over there in the other bathroom.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's right. That's true. So
probably about a year and a half or something like that.
I don't even think it was that long. Like after we had moved here.
Oh yeah, because we was only in Lake Mary for how long?
Yeah, only for 2.5 months, something like that.
Okay, I don't know why I be thinking we was in Lake Mary for about a year. So it seemed like we was there for a long time though.
No,
like
but we are not going to say where we live at, what city we live in. We're not going to say that on the air.
No, I ain't saying that. I'm saying when we was in Lake Mary.
Oh, okay.
We could be anywhere in the world right now.
This is true. So after that initial abortion, you know, us babe seeing how I went through that and everything. And then I would say a little less than a year later, we were pregnant again. And I could not believe it. I just couldn't believe it. That just really got me.
I could.
I mean, true. We was trying not to get pregnant after we got pregnant the first time. And then all of the ways of us trying not to get pregnant was not agreeing with my health. And so we just decided, hey, like, we're just going to try something else. And then we ended up getting pregnant in the interim. That's basically what happened. We got pregnant in the interim.
I don't even know what that is, y'all. Straight up.
We got pregnant in between birth control is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In the interim.
That,
in that
in
that period between birth controls, we got pregnant.
Right.
For the second time. And I was kind of in denial. But at this point, I was just like, look, you trying to work on an album. We finna do all this stuff. You finna be traveling. Like, at this point, that's where my mind was. And I was just like, there's no way I'm finna be pregnant and you finna be gone. And I want to travel too. And that was my mindset.
And I want to live my life too.
Right. And I want to live my life.
I don't want to be sitting at home.
Right.
Watching a baby.
Exactly.
Wah,
and I didn't want to be because I be thinking it's sometimes kind of like if you have a husband or a spouse or whatever that does leave the home a lot, it's almost kind of like you're a single parent. And I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be stuck at home.
No,
and,
I get it though.
And stuff like that. And all the other stuff from the first time, I just didn't know what people were going to say. So
that second time, y'all, oh my God, man, having to go through that junk again.
Yeah, it was not good.
So basically, we was in the earlier stages, so we didn't have to do where they put the thing in you and kill, like where the baby is pretty much all the way formed and they put the thing in there and snatch the head off and all of that. We didn't have that type of abortion and,
Right, we always caught it early on. So
and for those who might kind of got a weak stomach or whatever the case may be, I apologize, but that's what it is. That's how it happens. So we was in the earlier stages where she was just able to take the pill,
right?
But yet and still, how the pill affects the women,
right?
And so she's in pain for like 8 to 9 hours.
Right.
Crying, can't stay still, crying out to God, like, And the second time I'm watching, the first time it was a little different. I mean, it still felt the same, it hit the same way, but the second time it was just like my mind frame was like, okay, for one, I don't want to go through with this. I don't want to see you have to go through that. And then on two, I ain't trying to take out none of my kids. You feel me?
Right.
So, and then to hear you cry to God about it and know that, okay, this has happened the first time, knowing everything that's going to happen from it.
Right.
And still deciding to do it again, but then to cry out and, say, God, help me or whatever. I was just like, to me, and I mean, that's the human being on a daily. That's what we do on a day-to-day basis. We commit sin, we do things, and we constantly ask for forgiveness, and forgiveness is there for us, you know what I'm saying? In spite of, through the unconditional love of God. But for me, I was just like, this ain't happening again.
Right.
After that second time, I'm just like, this
and not happening again.
Definitely not happening again. Like on everything I love, on my life, whatever. Like this ain't happening again. I can't take dealing with this again. I can't take watching you go through this pain and all of this, and I can't do nothing. There's nothing that I can do to comfort you. There's nothing that they can tell you that can help. You just got to deal with it.
Right.
And it's like all of this was because of our actions. You know what I'm saying? It was because of our actions. True. And it's like, okay, we got pregnant the first time, but we know we ain't trying to get pregnant, then, whatever. And then we ain't supposed to be, doing it anyway.
Right.
So I was just like, man, whatever happens next time, that to me, that's more of a punishment to have to deal with that and watch that than having a baby. Having a baby to me is not a punishment. To some people that would be a punishment. To some women that's the punishment. You know what I'm saying? Having a baby, now my life is over. I can't do anything. Now it's all about me being a mother. I can't pursue my career. I can't do this or that and the third. Which is a lie, because there's plenty of mothers who got kids and still pursued their careers and did great things or whatever. It's different when you got a child to take care of versus when you're by yourself. And most women is used to that. And that's why they make the decisions of, I'm not ready yet. I still have this ahead of me and that ahead of me. I got my whole life ahead of me.
Right.
You know, and you know, that's just a perspective. That's a person's perspective. And I believe, you know, me and you talk all the time, and I believe in being a person of perspective.
Right.
And when I say that, not just meaning to stand behind your own personal perspective, because that's what most people do. And because they do that, you know, they always in dilemmas and disagreements with people because they can't see things outside of their personal perspective. But I believe in sometimes you got to take a step out of your shoes and step into the next person's shoes and, you know, be able to see it from their view.
Right.
And that'll help you to understand outside of your own reasoning and logic sometimes. So just being a person of perspective, man, it was just difficult, man. Like, even you, I'm just like, I'm not gonna let you have to go through that again.
And I think that we agreed at this point, like, we literally agreed, like, if we ever got pregnant again, like, we would just have a child at this point. And now
I've been trying to get you pregnant. And every time I think that we ain't.
And he can't. The little things ain't swimming no more, I guess.
Nah, they swim.
So really, as you were just talking about perspective, like, that was really the perspective, or my perspective, that I had hiding behind that mask, because I wasn't married, because I was having sex out of marriage. I was afraid of what people were going to say, that people knew that I was having sex. And here I am promoting abstinence, but I'm still over here, you know, having sex. Not all the time, but, like, I still was having sex.
A lot of times.
And, and afraid of looking like a hypocrite, like, honestly. Afraid that the mask would come off and people would see what I was actually going through or dealing with, and, you know, what I was choosing, the decisions I was choosing to make. So I just want to kind of take a pause real quick.
The pressures
Yes.
are the things that
the expectations. Yeah.
The pressures are the things that push you into doing something that you probably wouldn't have done had you not had in your mind that there was going to be such a high expectation, that there was such a high expectation of what people expected of you.
There's always been a high expectation of me and to live, and that's why I've always been in this mask and, you know, looked out for other people instead of myself more so. But like I was just about to say a moment ago, like, I want to take a quick pause just to commend those women who have not fallen prey or have not they've not folded under pressure of those expectations. They chose life regardless of what they could see ahead of them, and they just really, you know, they chose to endure having that child and enduring that embarrassment, if any at all. And so I commend them for being that bold, because I wasn't that bold. I wasn't bold enough to make that decision. So, like, I want to commend those women who have, you know, who are single mothers, who don't know what's going to happen with their child's father, but they are still choosing to have a child in spite of their circumstances. So, yeah.
Definitely, man.
So that's really what we're talking about today, or that's what we talked about today. What we want to do now is we got an artist spotlight, and this dude,
who we got up today?
His name is John Sigler. You heard about him?
Shout out to John, man. I like John. John, cool people, man.
Yeah, he was a really cool dude. Really
solid
appreciate
individual.
Him. We want to get into his song here. It's called The Ways of the World. He really talking about some stuff, y'all. I mean, he talk about some stuff I probably wouldn't have said, but, you know, he being transparent. And that's what we do.
That's right. So John Sigler, Ways of the World, man. Check it out. Artist spotlight of today.
Yo. Who it is? John. Hey, I think it's time. It's time? Alright. Let's go. Hey. I think it's crazy how this world gone. Speak on the truth and they attack you like a war zone. See, I talk the way I talk because I live it. Real deal and I ain't babysitting now, nigga. And when I push on this button, they gon' be mad at me and after me, cause I'm exposing them for who you like to see. And you can say what you want, just don't put your hands on me. I pray the Lord and the Holy Spirit give you reality. Cause nowadays seem like everybody tripping. A foolish way of living seem like everybody with it. Got the world on our phone, social media. We chilling in the back watching how things heating up. And Instead of topics like equality and poverty, we rather give attention to ignorance and mockery. How we really think it's a game like Monopoly. No condemnation, but he gon' put everybody on their knees. Real deal, I don't know when he coming back, but when he do, we bringing his sword and even getting whacked. When it comes to his word, I'm believing all of that. One day I'll give my soul up and know I'm out of stacks. Guess who rock with me? I got the Lord on my side, so who's stopping me? Right, I'm being where you at, it ain't no game. But you investing your time into the wrong thing. Hey, come on, turn your mind on, player. Open up his word and get your grind on, play. Seem like all you see is green like a lime 9 later. When it comes to your goals, do it 9 later. This world say don't get your hopes up, but the Bible tell you to keep hope alive. And you gotta work if you want some. So, without driving, you're wasting time. Straight up. And I don't think that I could ever understand what to make a man wanna sleep with another man. What to make a woman wanna sleep with another woman. Bible said that this gon' happen, look at how it's happening. And I ain't say that to start something. I'm here to speak truth, not to start stuff. But at the same time, I'm thinking about the people that's so touchy gon' take it as shot fire. Yo, and they be tripping me out. The way this country be acting like we so innocent now. Reality is they want us dead in the dump. So they took the mask off and hired Donald Trump. Are you trying to tell us to change how we living, but your actions trying to make us a slave to your vision? So Uncle Sam, why you mad at me? Why so much hate? Can you stop all this brutality? And I ain't even touched the surface yet. They out here trying us. What do we look like? They killed my dog Perp at the gas station. Cause you well bad, you can take a life. Tired of listening to these sad songs of another black man gone. Another mama crying cause her son a victim of a homicide. Child sad cause her dad ain't coming home. Yo, you see the ways of this world? Greed, selfish, hate, malice, need. And every day I can't help but think about leaving to being up in heaven. But this world here, we gotta stand up for mankind. And not just for what you like. See, I ain't in the sugar coat and the buttering up nothing. I don't bring feelings to a true fight. No.
Yup, and we back.
And that's that boy John Sigler, man, with the ways of the world, man. So if y'all was digging that, man, and y'all wanna follow John, y'all wanna check in, see what he got going on when his next project or single dropping, visual.
He always got a single coming out.
Bruh, stay working. I'm talking about stay working. So if y'all trying to get up with him, man, his IG, his Instagram is at official John IG. That's OFFICIALJONIG. That's official John IG. Then on YouTube, y'all can find him at John Sigler. That's JONSIGLER. Sigler. I'm sorry, I said Singler. Sigler. John Sigler.
John, charge it to the head.
Charge it to the game, my boy. You know what I'm saying? You know it's all love, though.
Yeah, but he a real brother, and we really appreciate him.
For real,
the ministry
real.
God has given him.
So salute to John and his team, and y'all keep grinding, keep putting in that kingdom work, man. Let God give increase like he always do. You did.
So as we end this podcast for today, the Life Out Loud with QuiQui Symone and friend King Alico. As we end this podcast, what we just want to do is encourage people to just really understand that the pressures that that you may have, people may have placed expectations on you. Live for you. Don't live for other people. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, it's really what we're trying to convey. And unfortunately, other children were not here because I did not choose the road or choose the path. I chose the pressure, and I allowed the pressure of those expectations to overtake me instead of choosing what God really could have been saying. Hey, this is going to be the next king or queen, or this is going to be next president or the next whatever. But I chose otherwise. And so choose wisely. Choose wisely.
Please do.
Please choose wisely. So with that stated, we're going to get up out of here.
Yeah, I already know, man. It's been a great day. You know what I'm saying? Always time well spent, man. With that being said, man, we gonna catch y'all later on, shout out. We gonna catch y'all next time, you feel?
Thank y'all for listening to Life Out Loud with QuiQui Symone.
And friend, King Alico, man. We love y'all, man.
We love
God
y'all.
bless y'all.
Subscribe to the channel.
Stay blessed. Pull up.
Cook Up Academy.
I know you want it, you looking for it. I know who got it. She talk about it in every EP, leave you island. Don't nobody ever be on what she be on. This is LOL with QuiQui Symone. and take notes. What you get drenched on the rainy days? What is an app for that? Like umbrella, sit back and take quote. Wait, I'm in cover. She mashed potato, her toppings, and just like gravy on top of it. Every topping she covered. I mean, it's QuiQui Symone, so when Kiki come on, you should listen, she different from any other. Ask Mike else, I bet he say it's not a now nutter. Like what you need, I bet she got it for you. Check the catalog like, well, oh well. Whether it's life out loud or you just need a laugh, it's LOL. Yeah. With QuiQui Symone, please leave me alone when the show come on. Don't touch that dial, lower your tone.
Hey, Kiki on.
I know you want it, you looking for it. I know who got it. She talk about it in every EP, you hollering. Don't nobody ever be on what she be on.